Did you hear about our basketball game?
No, what happened?
We lost again.
I'm sorry.
We lost to a Christian homeschool.
Okay, well,
all
any
because
team
they
can
cheated.
beat. They cheated?
Yes, they cheated.
How did they cheat?
They had Jesus on their team.
Okay, so
I can guard Joey all day, but you know who I can't guard?
Okay, I think
The
you
Lord.
need. Okay, at this point, you're.
Every time a player got hurt, he was fine the next play.
Well, that's a good thing.
I think Jesus was healing them.
Do you
I
understand
think
how
he was hiding under the bleachers, just laying his hands on them so they would be fine.
you really need to?
Their cheerleaders over there like, we got school spirit. I'm like, yeah, you also have the Holy Spirit.
They had cheer.
Over there praying, the Lord is my shepherd. Yeah, he's also your shooting guard. So
You
I
seem
don't know
really-
what they were praying for.
Listen to
I'm
me.
assuming points because they scored 84 of them.
You're making excuses.
And then Joey was all like, we beat you. I'm like, you ain't beat us.
Well, you know, kids.
He
that-
beat us.
Actually, they
You know,
did.
Jesus may love all the little children of the
Derek,
world,
listen
but he
to
also loves the hoop.
You guys lost
And he's
because
good.
you're ridiculous.
Real good.
Listen to
God
me.
might have created the heavens and the earth on day one, but on day two, he shot some foul shots. I promise you that.
You
That
can't
man-
be a sore.
Chad said he heard the coach say after the game, I want to thank God. So that right there tells you that they were planning something sneaky with.
They were planning something sneaky with him. Welcome back to the Cross Reference, and that just had me smiling ear to ear this week when I saw that. So I thought I'd open the show with it because sometimes, okay, quite often, we talk about stuff on the show that is in the news and the politics and the culture that relates to Scripture. And a lot of times when we look around us and we see what's going on around us, we're at kind of at a lack of good news. So we talk about a lot of downers on the show. So I thought I'd open it up with something cool. Thank you again for joining us. Remember, do all the cool things before we get started. You know what they are. Go ahead and do them. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. I got somebody in studio with us today. This is it's gonna be fun, man. Good friend. Actually, band member. We're starting stuff out, and he's a guitarist. So say hello to Carl, man. How's it going, man?
Hola.
Hola. Bilingual.
No, man, it's cultural appropriation, dude. You know? Share the language. Hola.
Hola, amigo.
It's okay. I'm married to a Mexican. I got to pass.
Is that how it works?
I'm pretty sure it's how it works. Right?
So you have a free pass?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, hey, man. I married an Asian, so I get a free pass?
I mean, not to say hola. You can say, like konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa? Yeah, there we go. There we
There
go.
you go,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Appropriation. To appropriate is to appreciate, right?
Technically,
Technically, yeah. Anyways, yeah, I thought I'd...
yes. At least that's what thieves say.
Uh-oh. I thought I'd start it out with that opening. And, a little segue into what we're going to talk about. He said Jesus loves the little children of the world, but he also loves the hoop. So... have you seen what's been going on? I think we talked about it. Did I tell you what about the Supreme Court? I think last week.
Something about abortion.
What they decided, yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember the details, but yeah.
Well, how'd you feel when dude? How'd you feel? I think it was 2022. I think it was April 2022 when they said, "Oh, Roe V Wade, yeah, that's not constitutional." And they gave it back to the states.
And then everybody thought they made abortion illegal.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, sacrificing your baby is still legal. It's still legal.
Well, yeah, depending on the state. But how'd you, I walked out of my work. I should have told you, hey, God's calling. No, just
Hello?
kidding.
Hello? Oh, that's an alarm. That's my alarm to take my nap. I'm old.
I walked out of work, like literally, I think I was yelling out loud, like, woo, and everybody's looking at me like, what is that dude's problem? Because, man, when they overturned when they said, hey, yeah, states get to make a decision whether, they want to allow you to off your baby,
Right.
then I was celebrating, man.
They're just putting it back the way it was, I think, right? Isn't that how it used to be?
Yeah, that's how it used to be until, 1976, when they're just like, yeah, it's constitutional, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's women's health care. Don't get me started on that.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah, abortion's it's a touchy subject, man, because the women doing it aren't actually in the wrong, I don't think. Like, they have a guilt to it, but, like, the men in their lives are kind of leading them in that direction, honestly. Like, if they have you know what I mean? Like, if your dad, if you can't look up to your dad, then you're not going to find a good guy. Then you're going to end up doing stuff like having a one-night stand, right?
yeah.
Then you don't have the people in your family to say, well, we're gonna make the best of it. Instead, they're like, well, you could just, abort it, and then you can still afford your place and all that stuff.
Yeah, I've even seen. I mean, dude, I think I even saw like. I mean, you're absolutely right. I saw. I think it was this week on Twitter. One of like the Democrats like argument. They were saying they were targeting the men about abortion because they were like, well, you want your woman to be able to off your baby, right? Because what you're saying, I think a lot of women do. They do let the man, even if they don't want to. Now, don't get me wrong. A lot of women, I've seen them. They use it as straight up like they would any other contraceptive,
Right? Like,
which is just awful to think of. But there are women out there that I think wouldn't have done it had they not been in a position where the man that they're with said to do it.
But that's when someone like the doctor, who like was allegedly educated and smart and went through all this years of school to take an oath to protect people, should say, "You sure about this? Like, you're just gonna do that because you don't want to have a kid? Like,
Right.
your health is fine. You can carry this baby all the way, and the baby's gonna be great."
Yeah, and
It's just crazy to me, man.
and that goes into some states. Some states like you can't go through with that with an abortion unless you've seen the sonogram first, because they know what you're saying. Like a doctor would say, "Are you sure you want to do this?" Anybody worth his salt and has half an ounce of morality would say, "Do you sure you want to do this?" So there are certain states that are like, you can't have it until you look at what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Could
And
it? I mean, is it against the doctor's rules or whatever to refuse? Like, couldn't he just say, "Yeah, I'm not doing that"?
no, it's law. Like in Texas, I'll look it up right now, but I am almost certain.
I mean, they have to perform it if the woman needs it or wants it or whatever.
What's that?
I'm talking about, so a doctor can't tell a woman, "Hey, I'm not going to do that." Like, "Hey, I need an abortion," and I'm just saying, like giving them the most benefit of the doubt that you can, right? Like if they go to the doctor and the reason for them needing abortion to be legal and stuff is because they claim people might get raped by their uncle or something, and then the kid might grow up with like no arms or something, right? So they want to be able to have that option. So couldn't the doctor come in and say, "Why do you want an abortion?" "Oh, it's just because you can't afford to have a kid or you're not ready." "Okay, well, I can't do that. Sorry, I'm not doing that." Like, is that even an option?
Then
I don't even know anything about abortion, honestly.
Tons of people would lie.
Right.
Now, most states, I think maybe Louisiana, and I'm just off the top of my head, my memory. I think Louisiana may be one of the states that they're like, by no exception at all can you do it, even if it's being sexually assaulted.
Right.
So, which is kind of crazy, but I'm kind of for it. Me personally, being a Bible believing Christian, how do you feel about that?
What?
Like, okay,
Somebody getting assaulted?
Somebody got assaulted, and it resulted in a pregnancy. Should they be able to have an abortion?
I mean, they can do whatever they want. That's the
No,
thing.
morally speaking.
Morally, no. I think it's totally immoral because a baby is from God, right? So God put that there in the womb for some reason, right? So
Okay, well then
Even
people would say,
if-
really?
even-
That's the God you worship? You know what I
yeah,
mean?
because the God that I worship has a thing called like truth and consequences, and so like something happened to you, and so even if it wasn't your physical fault, like you got assaulted or something, I think that God will do something to maybe that's the blessing you got from it, right? Like, I know a terrible thing happened to you. Here's a life. I mean, that's the way he set it up, right? You have intercourse and a baby might result from that.
Yeah.
But I think if that happens, I mean, that's a hard one, right? But I don't know. I feel like if someone is really, that's why it's so important to lean on God, right? Because if you're leaning on your own self, then you're like, I can't do it. I got to kill it. I mean, I'm sorry. I've got to,
Yeah.
abort it, right?
Yeah.
Whatever the terminology
I mean,
people use.
let's
it's a sacrifice. I like calling it a sacrifice.
Let's
'cause that's
be
what it
blunt.
is.
Let's be blunt. And unfortunately, we have to choose our words very carefully because of the internet and algorithms and AI now listening to every word you say. But let's be 100% on this. It is the killing of an unborn baby. That's what abortion is.
But if you
And
want to
until
get
we
around the
can
algorithms,
get
you
that-
can say sacrifice, which is actually what it is because they're sacrificing to keep their well-being, right? So
And it's almost
that's actually a better way to put it, honestly, because we
100%, I agree,
we're borrowing YouTube's platform, so let's respect them, right? So whatever, that's fine. But I mean, it's a sacrifice.
It's a sacrifice.
It's a baby sacrifice. Actually,
It's
I like
just
to call them baby-phobes because
that's good. That's
they're
good.
baby-phobes. They're afraid of babies, so they kill. I mean, they
Sacrifice.
terminate them. They sacrifice the baby because they're afraid, and they must
Well,
sacrifice to their
everything's
God to get rid of their fears.
Everything's more important, their career, their happiness, being able to go on vacation,
Yeah.
instead of sacrificing for somebody else, you sacrifice that somebody else for you.
Yeah.
And that reminds me
Which
of
is
Mo-
crazy
that
to me,
reminds me of
yeah.
what, that just goes back to Molech, passing your children through the fire. God said you're giving your children to Molech because they believe that it would promise good rains and good crops and good
And a good career.
Yeah, I mean, back then,
that's
crops is your career.
Right. So now, I mean, yeah, people will. I mean, even guy. Actually, it is on the guys. I mean, it really is. The girls are at fault, like on the base level, just like right. Eve was at fault, technically, right? But Adam is like ultimately at fault because he should have said no, stop right there. You know what I mean? Like you stop, and that's where we're at now. So like men don't say nothing. They're like, but she's gonna let me inside. I can't have a kid though,
Yeah.
It's really that simple, in my opinion. It really is.
Well, the reason I'm bringing this up, okay, is because so in 2022, and I believe the article we're going to look at it gives the date that the Supreme Court ruled that okay, no, it is not, a state does have the right to make their own laws regarding abortion. Okay, so basically, if Colorado wants to allow it all the way up and until birth, they can. If Texas wants to straight up outlaw it and ban it completely, they can. And we've seen that happen across the board. Certain states are like, nope, by no means necessary. Other states are like, they're like, no, you can do it whenever you want. So that was in 2022. Well, this happened just I think it was June 13th. It says, after Supreme Court abortion pill ruling, U.S. bishop calls for continued prayer. Now, that headline doesn't really explain what the Supreme Court decided, but this paragraph here does. The Supreme Court unanimously ruled against the Alliance for Hippocratic Medicine on June 13th after the group sued the FDA in November of 2022 for approving the abortion drug mifepristone. I don't know. Mifepristone. Anyways, the court, that's the abortion pill. Okay, that's the pill you take to abort, to sacrifice your baby.
Like what do they call it? You talking about like the next day pill or whatever they call it? The Plan B or whatever?
I don't think it's Plan B. No, that's
like an early thing,
That's
right?
an early thing. This is the pill you take when
you're actually
you've
pregnant?
been 6 weeks.
Oh my
I think
God.
you can take. I think it says in here. I think you can take it
What
up
do they
to.
do? They just expel the baby out?
Yes.
Oh my God! In their toilet or something?
Yes.
That's crazy, man. Whoa.
Anyways, so the court determined that the plaintiffs failed to demonstrate they were injured by the chemical abortion drug. Where is it? It says in here, and I know I'm going to find it, or maybe I should say here it is. The AHM opposed the FDA for allowing the drug's prescription outside of in-person doctor visits. Right, so you don't need an in-person doctor visit to get this. You can do a virtual visit, right? So, they oppose the FDA for allowing the drug's prescription outside of in-person doctor visits, and for allowing its dispensation through the mail. The AHM argued the drug causes physical injury to users and conscious injury to doctors who prescribe it. I'm full stop. Okay, hold on, full stop. Give me a break. All right, this is what, the nationalcatholicregister.com? No. Harm to the user. How about harm to the baby? I'm sick of tiptoeing around this crap, especially if it's a Catholic thing. Just say it. It kills babies. Okay? It's what the drug does. Anyway, so they're mad
yeah,
about...
but I mean, if that's what the drug does, they're not going to call that a defective drug. Legally, they're not going to do that, right?
Right.
Like if the drug is meant to do that, they're going to say, hey, it's working. That's what it does.
And I think that's what their argument is. I think that's what they presented to the Supreme Court. It's like, look, this causes harm to the user, to the mother.
Right.
And they're like, no, it doesn't. Which... It
mean,
really doesn't.
It's
the
honestly,
baby that it does the harm to.
I think abortion, anything that has to do with abortions, like not even abortions, maybe that's not even the right word. What is it? Contraception, right?
Yeah.
Anything that I think like pills that women take, anything where they have to trick their body, like these pills trick their body into believing
Like birth control.
Yeah, so their body thinks they're pregnant, but it also makes the body think there's a miscarriage. So it's like it's psychologically bad, I think. And I don't even like.
And we're not doctors, FYI.
We're not bad, but
FYI, we're not doctors. This is not medical advice.
Yeah, it's not medical advice.
See your doctor. We're just having a conversation. Go ahead. My bad. Had to add that in there.
This is more like spiritual advice, which is probably healthier anyway.
Right.
You can go to the doctor if you got like, if you got like a twisted ankle or something. I like doctors for that kind of stuff, but I think when it comes to psychology or preventative medicine, they're terrible, dude.
Right.
Because it's all about like money and control and stuff.
One of these, so just a little background, mifepristone, I guess I'm probably saying that wrong, but it's the first of 2 drugs used in chemical abortions within the first 10 weeks of pregnancy to block progesterone, the hormone that supports pregnancy. The drug causes a mother's uterine lining to separate, preventing the transport of nutrients and oxygen to an unborn child.
Well, so it just starves it to death.
Pretty much, yeah. It is taken with misoprostol, which causes uterine contractions to expel the child from the uterus. The AHM argued the drug leads to complications that can result in emergency abortions. Anyways.
Wait. Go back to the last thing.
What's that? Right here?
AHM what? Argue the drug leads to complications that can result in emergency abortions? But isn't it doing an abortion, right? It's already doing that, right?
Yeah. It's all just legal jargon to try and get,
I'm super confused. So the American Hippocratic what?
It's the American...
That's a weird word.
Alliance for Hippocratic Medicine.
Oh, sorry, not American.
There we
Alliance for Hippocratic Medicine. And so they don't want that drug because... So I'm guessing they're just trying to fight against the drug because of the drug, right? For the fact that the drug exists, and the only way they can do it is to say it's leading to complications, I guess, right?
Pretty much. But see, here's the problem.
I never heard of that.
Okay.
AHM.
Okay. Here's the problem, and what really bugs me. Okay, and I'm trying not to get mad here. So we saw a huge victory. Christians around the country saw a huge victory when and okay, I'm going to try not to rant here because I think it should be banned federally. I think abortion should be illegal, period. But we can get into that here in a minute if you want to. Christians saw a huge victory when the Supreme Court decided, no, each state can make whatever law regarding abortion they want to. Okay? Huge win. And now here in 2024, over 2 years later, the court turns around because what's happening is I went online to kind of test this to see you can get even if your state says it is completely illegal, by no means necessary, can you have an abortion? You can still get the abortion pill mailed to you in the mail. And you can go ahead and do it anyways. And if I remember reading, 2/3 of every abortion is with using this drug. It's not the invasive version of an abortion because they catch it early enough and then they use the pill, right? Because it said within the first 10 weeks you can just do what's that? 2.5 months? Yeah, that's 2.5 months. Yeah, okay. So
that's crazy, man.
So the problem is it doesn't. The Supreme Court goes ahead and says, yeah, you can ban it if you want to. And then they say, oh, but you can't ban the drug causing it. It can still be mailed to private residences in your state, regardless of the laws we don't care what laws you wrote. It's like Roe versus Wade didn't even get reversed. Don't give me that crap.
Yeah, but we're like the laws that the government follows aren't really the laws of God, right? So they kind of use the laws of God as bait, in my opinion, to make people think that they're on this like side of God, I guess. But it's basically, in my opinion, it's like asking Babylon to stop sacrificing kids. It's like, can you stop that? It's immoral. They would just be like, you go worship your God, dummy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think biblical times is just always like people want to say like, oh, back in biblical days, but I think we're always in biblical days. Like right now, it's still, I don't know who rules.
We're still in the Book of Acts,
right?
You know, that Book of Acts like never really ended.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that was like, you know, just a hey, do this, go until the end, and then it hasn't happened yet, so we're still going, right? So
yeah,
but I mean, geez, man, it's like these nations. People think that they're all like they all have their own, like America is Christian and England is Christian or Catholic. Ireland
it's a
is
joke.
Catholic.
If anything,
But
we're the Babylon of end times.
Well, yeah, basically,
This country.
in my opinion, Babylon
United
is
States.
huge. I think it's like
More like a system.
I think it's like the dollar basically. Like it talks about like in some of the prophets like having a casting net, how this like king will like have a casting net captures everybody. And dude, the dollar bill has nets on it. Fishing
yeah,
nets.
it does.
It's got all these fishing nets on it. So it's like, dude, the monetary system is just like a giant trap, and it gets everybody into like basically slavery, but nobody wants to really call it that because slavery, people think slavery's whips and like, you know, assault or whatever. That's what people imagine slavery as.
Yeah.
And it's really just like people aren't gonna, like, people think that people would rather off themselves than have slavery than be a slave, and that's so stupid. Like anybody would rather be a slave than not be alive, right?
Yeah.
So people think that slavery times was like chains and whips and all this stuff, and it's just no. They like people signed up for it. You come into America. The Irish had it pretty bad, but they came into America and they were considered like low class. And then you're basically bonded to a system of slavery, and that's it. Like, it's worse now, in my opinion, because back then you had gold. You know what I mean? Like you had something that kept you out of the net, kind of, because you had your own, which is God's money, right? Like gold and stuff. But now you have nothing. Like we only have the dollar. Like that's the thing that keeps every country afloat right now, pretty much.
Right.
And people don't realize like once that thing falls, then something
Overnight, your life is going to
something's
change.
going to replace it. I don't think it's going to change that drastically. I think it's going to be come this way, sheep. They're leading us into like a land of prosperous and or what is it called, prosperity and security and all this stuff, and then it's going to be bad news at that point. Like,
Well,
I think,
they're trying to go to the digital. They're trying to go
Yeah.
digital, and when and if they do that, it's what they call programmable money. Like they can literally shut on and off your ability to spend that money and what they want you to spend it on. I've already talked about how on this channel how you know they're monitoring Bible purchases. Okay, so what do you think they'll do if we go digital, and there's like those pesky Christians, don't allow them to buy Bibles anymore, you know?
they could do that, but I mean, it would be just then at that point. I mean, if it got so bad to where they were just doing that, I think we could just be like, I guess we're writing it down then. Start copying it down or something. You
Like
know
the
what
Book
I mean?
of Eli. I love that movie.
Yeah, I love that movie. Just start writing it down. I mean, the thing is, they can't stop the human soul. They really can't. They think they can. They think they can scare everybody into thinking that everything's going to end badly. Even if you're doing good, it's going to end badly. And I think that
Well, God said it will end badly.
not
for me and
everyone.
you.
Not for everyone.
Not for
Now everybody will be faint out of fear. Every man will be in that big time, right? On the big day. But I mean, I'm talking like in these times where everybody's saying like, oh man, the S is hitting the fan, right? So it's like, I think that God's kind of showing everybody, hey, this is that system though. like let them do their thing. That's Babylon. Let them do their thing. You know, you can still grow food. You're a good example of that.
Well,
I don't have any fruit bearing. I got fruit bearing trees, but I don't have any like vegetable plants or nothing yet. But that's the way out, in my opinion. Like doing that, and then you know what I mean. Then you're actually living off from God. They can't really do anything about that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they could just burn
But
your whole,
in the
your whole
meantime,
house down.
in the meantime, that sounds okay. So, not to get too far out in the weeds here, but
yeah, we are getting way
in
out.
the meantime, this kind of brings it back to the abortion topic. You know, are you more of a nihilistic attitude, or it's just like, well, let Babylon do what Babylon do, you know, or are you like, no, I am tired of this crap. I'm tired of what this system is doing to our children. If they make it out of the womb, then they're terrorized to change their gender, you know, go through surgeries, like be indoctrinated in the schools, and
Well, not yours though, right? So like your kids won't have to go through that. My kids won't go through that.
I don't care if it's my kids or your kids.
know.
I don't want kids.
Well,
I
don't want the kids to go through that either. But
my kids aren't okay.
My only point is
Take it back to abortion.
Yeah,
Okay.
well-
My kids didn't get aborted. Okay. Fine. Other kids are being
a lot of kids
are
are.
being
A lot of kids are. That's true.
sacrificed.
Yeah, they are.
So do we in that kind of attitude, like you were saying, like, well, let Babylon be like Babylon do what Babylon do, or do we like, no, we're gonna get on a podcast and have a conversation about this?
Oh, I like talking about it. Yeah.
Or do we?
But I think talking about it is good for waking up other people to it, maybe that aren't aware of anything about God or something, right? But as far as Babylon itself is concerned, like I don't think there's any fighting for that. Like you have to either just go along with it or you get out of it and you just say, I'm checking out of Babylon. I'm done. Like we can't do this no more. My family's not gonna be exposed to it. But at the same time, you still want to tell people about it, you know?
Yeah, I think it's a mixture
Because
of both.
then people can be like, I don't care, I'm staying, I don't care. Because a lot of people are like that. Like they'll know that that certain thing, they'll know certain truths, right, that have been coming out. Like for example, the medical industry and stuff. A lot of things came out, and people would be like in private telling me,
which we can't talk about on YouTube.
right? Yeah,
You
I
know?
mean, not too specifically, but you know,
Which I'm thinking about starting to take this, do what most people are doing, and taking this to another platform that starts with an R. Can't say that here either, but on that platform, like we could do half of it here, and then be like, join us over there where we can actually talk about these things. But
link in the description.
But yeah, the medical industry and the things coming out right now that we can't really discuss. No, you're 100% correct, and I think people are starting to realize this stuff, and that you're absolutely correct. The discussions have to be had, because that's how you change minds, and that's how you change hearts. And it's just like with anything like the gospel. You can't, anybody who says, oh, they'll see the gospel by the way you live. No. You have to open your mouth.
You do have to talk about it. But let me clarify what I meant. I didn't mean let Babylon do Babylon, who cares type of attitude. I meant to talk about it is good, but to get really like pissed or angry and to have actually your own like spirit become like agitated over it. To me, I've done that, and it makes your day dark. And I just think that it's probably better to like focus that energy on, man, I got to tell people about this, because they maybe they don't know. And like a lot of my families and friends that I've had over the years, they I can tell that like sometimes I'll say stuff to them and they think I'm nuts, right? But it's because they're living in a totally different world. Like different worlds can exist, and people don't realize. They just think like, oh, you're just an insane blue-haired person, crazy. And I used to be like really hard into that too. Like, oh, this person's literally insane. They need help. But now I'm thinking, oh, they just didn't have the proper guidance. They're literally just misguided, and they think that, you know, God's a joke. The spaghetti monster's in the sky isn't gonna save anybody, and then they just have to be like, it's up to me. I'm gonna be the captain of the Starship Enterprise, and then they cut their hair short and dye it blue.
Well, you're absolutely right, and I was going to play this, and I'm sure, you know, I often think I shouldn't play stuff because I'm sure everybody's seen it by now. But I've learned that no, a lot of people don't see a lot of the things that I see. So I'll go ahead and play them. Like you're talking about Babylon, and this came up because of because of the abortion topic that we're discussing. Look at this guy.
Is that a doctor?
Yeah, have you seen this?
No.
Oh, see, so not everybody sees the
two-headed.
things I see. Okay,
He's got 2 heads.
this dude is like, dude,
That's dudes.
this is demonic possession in my opinion. Here,
Yeah, he's got 2 heads.
I'm gonna
I'd
let
say
you
that's a
listen to
demon.
it. I'm gonna let you listen to it and tell me what you think.
This is a very eerie video, but these are the people that do those procedures, so I mean, it makes sense.
You gotta repent, sir, for murdering babies.
I have seen this. I saw this in 2019.
Because it's a sin
2018.
before God.
Why?
Wow.
2019, maybe.
Stinky breath.
This
Yeah,
dude
that's pretty evil of you, sir.
Yeah, I am.
And I hope and pray that you...
Yeah.
Well, that's what you do to babies, huh?
Yeah. I love it.
You love it, huh?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. I hope that you come to Christ, sir.
Oh, I never go to Christ.
Oh my gosh, I can't
But
stand. I
imagine-
can't stand the. Hold on, I can't stand the eerie music. Let me finish
I
it.
can't either, but
Let
imagine,
me finish
but
it.
imagine that guy
Murdering
like,
babies.
having to witness what he does every day.
Never go to Christ.
Well, anyways, hold on. Let me finish the video. I just
I
wanted
mean,
to get
his
rid of that
spirit would-
stupid eerie music.
I mean, if he wasn't demon, if he didn't act that way, I would be even more worried because what he does every day, dude.
Just being numb to it.
He probably literally is like, I must,
don't know.
I
I
must
don't know. Hold on.
embrace it. I have to embrace the darkness.
So what's worse, being numb to it or being like, I love this?
I think he thinks that if he loves it, just like I know we're like it's in June, right? So it's appropriate. So the pride, right?
Yeah.
Instead of them being like they used to be, where they belong in the shadows, they used to be in the shadows, right?
Well, all sex should be in the shadows.
Yes, but these guys used to be in the shadows, and they would be like, "Ooh, we're dirty. Let's do something in the secret, right?" But we're ashamed of it, right? But now it's like
Be proud
we
of it.
must love it, and you gotta love it with us. It's just
Yeah.
same thing.
Let's
So he's
see.
just
Let's see. Let's finish this
he's
video.
just embracing
I just
it.
had to get rid of that stupid eerie music. I can't. That just makes it corny.
Well, that's what you do to babies, huh?
Yeah, I love it.
You love it, huh?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. I hope that you come to Christ, sir.
Oh, I never go to Christ.
I hope that you come to Christ,
No,
sir.
I don't go to Christ.
Yeah, you...
I don't listen to Christ.
You will have a darkened heart, sir.
I do have a heart darkened
Yeah.
heart. Yeah.
You have a darkened heart.
I do. Very, very much so.
And you will stand
Yeah.
before God in judgment
Yes,
day
I
one
will.
day.
Dude, he's probably
Every day.
drunk.
You will stand before God in judgment
Yes,
day
I
one
will.
day.
Every day.
All of the babies that
I
you
love
have
it.
killed.
I love it.
Yeah, keep tearing the babies
Yeah,
apart.
I will.
Keep tearing the babies
I
apart.
will.
Keep tearing the
You
babies
got a phone
apart.
call.
Yes,
Oh.
sir. The babies,
Oh,
their
I have a
blood
phone call.
screams from the ground, my friends.
See, there's
Man.
one thing I've just got.
So yeah, Babylon. Yeah.
I got one
Wow.
criticism of that guy, the guy that was on the other side of the camera, right?
Why? What?
Him telling him keep tearing the babies apart, because him saying that in the demonic realm, in my opinion, I don't know, I'm not a demon, right? So, but I think that to them is consent. So they're like, oh, this Christian's giving me consent now. I'm gonna go do it in the name of Christ. Basically,
Right.
like they can twist it that way,
I
right?
can see it. I can see that. Yeah. Like.
I just think that they can take that to God and go, look what he said. You know, even though, right, it doesn't work on God. God doesn't get tricked.
Right.
But the demons, I think a lot, especially low level ones like that guy, he probably
So-
thinks he can trick God.
So I saw this video. We're gonna transition, but kind of not transition. So I saw this video on, and her name is Rachel Holt, right? And okay, in the culture war, as things are amping up, man, and
Ooh, I haven't heard that in a while.
and-
Culture war.
and people are starting to push back. You're seeing, you're even in the music industry, you're seeing independent record labels coming out because they're moving away from woke Nashville, the mainstream record labels, because mainstream record labels, they tell you what to sing about. They tell you, no, you're not gonna write that song. You know, we're tired of it, right? We're tired of it. So people are coming up with their own record labels, and this record label, I remember when it came out. I think it was last year, and it sounded kind of cool. Hey, you know the word based, right?
Yeah.
Like that's based.
Yeah.
Like if you say something conservative or like bluntly Christian or something, it's like based, right?
Yeah.
Well, this
I
record
like to baste my brisket.
that's and this record label uses that pun that you just used. They're called Based Records, and their logo is a little chicken leg.
Nice.
So, anyways, yeah. So as we're seeing the pushback in the culture, this record label called Based Records, This woman's name is Rachel Holt. I saw her on the Tim Pool show. I like to watch Tim Pool, and on Timcast, and she's got a new song, and we're gonna review it. We're not gonna play. We're gonna talk about it as we listen to it, and but go check her out. Give her some views on YouTube. Let's see here. Let me go ahead and right here. So you know what? First,
Looks like
let's
I have
do
no
this.
shirt on. Oh my gosh! I
So-
look like Fabio.
So her YouTube channel is Rachel Holt, VEVO, like Vivo. The isn't that the name of the
Vivo is one that does all the like artists, right? Like music videos, basically.
yeah,
VH1 now, right?
Okay, so yeah, her channel is Rachel Holt Vivo, VEVO. Go check out her song. Give her a review. This song has 38,000 views. Go to iTunes, download the song, help out.
38,000. She only got 700 subscribers, man.
I know, but that's what happens when you go on shows like Timcast, and you know, I haven't subscribed yet, but I'm gonna be honest.
Well, why don't you subscribe right now?
I haven't. You know what? Bam. Go to her channel. Hit subscribe. And so anyways, I started listening to the song and I was like, okay, nope, I'm gonna stop. This will be good for the show when Carl gets in. I've listened to like the first verse, and I'm telling you, trigger warning, you ladies out there, and myself included, man. I felt myself tearing up. It's one of those. It's a tear jerker, Carl.
If you tear up, you're gonna owe Owen Benjamin money
Why is that?
because he's the one you pay anytime you do anything gay.
Oh, is that what happens? All right, so let's check this out. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Let's give it a listen. Let's see what's going on. Let me make sure my sound levels are going to be okay here. Let's see here. So already,
I like the piano already.
I was about to say already, man. I love piano.
I love simple riffs, man, like that, where they just take a few notes and they can change your emotion just like this. You having a bad day?
Piano.
Instantly, whoa.
Yeah.
Some don't believe I'm a living soul.
Okay, dang, dude. All right.
Some don't
I just
believe-
got chills just now.
Let's
like,
clarify
on that
that.
first line.
Some don't believe in a living soul.
True.
So of course, why would a clump of cells be a living soul?
Dang. Ouch. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to say that.
Some don't believe I'm a living soul. Just a bad mistake that needs to go. If my mama could have just
Is it-
seen my face, maybe she would have had me anyway.
It's good.
I told you.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I'm welling up.
The one good line was
man.
can you go back?
Which
I
one?
forgot what the words were, but I know it was good. Before that,
Maybe she would
Before that one?
yeah, like 10 seconds before that, right before that one.
Mama could have just seen.
Yeah, bad
Just a
mistake.
bad mistake
dude,
that
whoa.
needs to go.
Like even that lyric is good because
If my
they feel that because they did make a mistake, right?
Yeah.
So they feel like the baby is that mistake, like the baby is what they did, and it's not, right? The baby's like the silver lining, man. It's like
It's the result of your mistake.
it's like
It's
hey,
not the mistake.
It's like, hey, you made a mistake, and guess what? You made the same mistake a month ago, and you didn't get pregnant. So you did it again. So I had to teach you a lesson, right? Not me, but
No, I get
the
you.
Almighty, right? He's gonna be the one doing it, and sometimes it happens on your first mistake.
Yeah, I get you.
But I think that it's just one of those things. I mean, where you can get away with it for a long time, and then you just never learn because where is their mistake? If you never get knocked up, right? So
Yeah.
they're just like, man, I can do whatever I want, and then it hits them. Oh no!
Yeah.
my mama could have just seen my face, maybe she would have had me anyway. those who speak for me.
That's me. That's this man right here.
Fight for lives that they can't see.
You dang right.
But there are some who only mourn this life of mine if I were born.
Dang. Dang.
Know that
There are some who only mourn this life of mine if I was born. Like, if I was actually born, that's when you would mourn? Holy
They think
cow.
they would mourn.
That sucks. And
But
that's
then-
so true.
But then if it were to happen, it's just like a light comes out of it. You know what I mean? It's like literally like a light. And you're like,
Like almost every there's countless numbers of like interviews and people who say, yeah, I've thought about getting an abortion and then somebody changed my mind and it's the best thing they ever did
Right.
was not having the abortion. And now now they always tell you, like, you know, you ask them, what's the most important thing in your life? It's my children.
yeah.
And those people were talked out of sacrificing them.
Mm-hmm.
And now the best thing, it's funny how God works. It's almost like he knew what he was doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
God said that in the book of Proverbs, I believe it says, children are like arrows in the quiver of a warrior. Blessed is the man whose sheath is full of them, whose quiver is full of them. What, you think he was lying? Amen.
I mean, you know,
Yeah.
some unbelievers would call that a matter of opinion because that's literally how they live their lives. You know what I mean? They just think, they don't realize like something that is a baby, like a baby, right, is a big responsibility. So they're just looking at the work that's going to go into it.
Yeah.
And they don't realize like, well, you went to school for 8 years. Wasn't that a lot of work?
That's crazy.
What did that get you? Oh, $150,000 of debt. That sucks.
Yeah, that line just got me for a second, man.
this life of mine if I were born. And all I wanted was a chance to learn to love and laugh and dance. Oh, but I was gone before I arrived.
Dang.
Sent back to heaven on a starlight flight. Yeah, I was gonna change the world, and now it's gonna be a girl.
Oh, how dare you say that?
Dang, dude.
How dare you? That's the most offensive part of the song. No, I'm just kidding. That's a joke. I'm just being funny.
Man.
because it's such an emotional subject.
He's just trying not to cry. Don't lie. Hey, he's trying.
I got a daughter, man. I got a daughter. But you know, it is true because I mean, dang, dude, it's like the people that believe all this stuff. Dude, imagine being the person that gets an abortion, right? When you're 18, 19, 20, whatever. And then you get married later, have children. How do you do that? Like, how would you be able to like not realize like that's what I gave up? You know what I mean? And then there's
Yeah.
people that have kids, have a family, and still are like out there with the sign, abortion is a woman's right.
It's horrible.
With their kids holding the sign too. I'm like,
Make it make sense.
what is
Like
going
the Supreme
on?
Court, and like the
That
Supreme
doesn't
Court's contradictory rulings, make it make sense.
The god of confusion, sir.
First thing I was gonna do is breathe and fall in love with you. But a couple of weeks before I saw the light,
Oh, dang.
mine flickered out when you changed your mind. And all I want
Wait. What's it? I don't want to look at those lyrics again. But a couple
Then
of weeks
don't.
before I saw the light,
Yeah.
mine flickered out when you changed your mind.
Mine flickered out when you changed your mind. And all I wanted was a chance to learn to love and laugh and dance. Oh, but I was gone before I arrived.
She's got a really good voice.
She does. I really wish they would stop auto-tuning people that can sing like that. Because you can tell she can sing.
Gonna have some pretty curls. I was gonna be a girl. I'm more than just someone that stands or some burden that you think I am. And there ain't no man who's ever gonna be what I was gonna
Dang, dude. Dang, dude.
It's a good song.
He kind of goes, dude. Holy cow! I think I clipped on that, dude. Hold on, I'm gonna let it play out. Let it play out.
Go ahead.
Just a bad mistake that needs to go.
Dang, it didn't end on the one. That makes it even more like, dang.
Dude, think about it.
You musicians know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it sounded great.
It goes back to what you were saying. Like, a lot of times it's the men's influence on the woman to sacrifice the baby. She said, no man is ever going to be what I was going to be. Right. Dang. Dude.
But also,
that makes me want to cry.
But also the guy.
That's excellent.
So a lot of times, I mean, this is where the whole like Me Too thing comes from, right? And so there's like a tiny bit of responsibility on a woman, right? But a guy like can kind of be very persuasive over a woman, even a woman who believes she's strong. And then the next day she can feel totally taken advantage of. And then of course when he's gone and he's not answering her calls, she's like, I'm on my own, because her dad probably sucks. So she's on her own. She's probably living like in a city in an apartment by herself, right? That's how you get in these. That's a lot of times like that's like the gateway drug to it. All right, you're okay. You're on your own. You got to go to college. You got to do something with your life. And then it's like, instead of, hey, you need to go find yourself a good guy that can really take care of you. You know, then you can pursue what you want. Within that umbrella, right? Like a woman, like my wife has her degree and all that, but I helped her through school. You know what I mean? Yeah. And all that. Instead of having her go on her own, she would have been all by herself. I don't know what would have happened. But
I honestly think fathers need to teach their daughters that we need to quit, making it out to where your college and your career is a must for, no.
It's secondary.
It's secondary, yeah. And if you don't even want to do that, some women don't even want to do that. They want to have children and be a homemaker while their husband worked hard for their family. And that's becoming a little more trendy. Praise God for that. Yeah. But where the mother stays at home and the father goes out and makes the money to provide, and that's no easy job for the woman.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I couldn't do it. Yeah. And that's the beautiful difference between men and women. I don't have the patience for that. Women are more patient, loving and nurturing. I couldn't do it. I couldn't be a stay-at-home dad, nor would I want to. I wouldn't feel like I'm providing.
It would definitely feel weird. There needs to be like a balance. I mean, there needs to be like the father needs to be a little more calculated and logical and not so emotional. That's what creates like emotional boys. Like, girls are obviously going to kind of model after their mom, so they should be emotional. They should be like nurturing and have a heart on their sleeve and all that. But guys are supposed to kind of hold the emotion, think about it, and like everybody struggles with that, obviously. But it's like, if you can conquer that, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. But back to my point, like I think we're kind of doing a disservice to our daughters to not teach them first and foremost, hey, find a man who's a godly man, who wants to take care of you and wants to have a family with you. Mm-hmm. Not you can do all that later when you're 40. Right now, right now you need to go to college and go into debt, and I think we're doing our daughters huge disservice by not putting that first and foremost. Anyways, so this next we're gonna hit this. We're running low on time. We've already gone 50 minutes, but I think it was worth it. Like we had some good discussions. It kind of went in places that that I didn't even
I'm all
know.
over the place.
Hey, that's how it goes. That's how it goes when you have somebody in
That's
the
how mine
studio.
works, man. It's like I start talking about something, and I'm like, but you know what? Why?
I love it though.
Yeah.
I love it because it's natural. It doesn't feel forced. But anyways, this next thing I wanted to touch on just for a second because there's some, and it'll probably go a little bit longer, but that's okay. That's okay. Whatever. Is this news that came out, I think 2 days ago? I don't know. I'm sure it'll tell us right here. So this is from the AP News. I like to use sources that the certain other types of groups can't argue with. You know what I'm saying? They can't be like, well, yeah, that's because that's Fox News.
Yeah.
You know.
I
So
got you.
AP News. New law requires all Louisiana public school classrooms to display the 10 Commandments. Baton Rouge, LA. Louisiana has become the first state to require. Now, underline that word. Underline that word. Require that the 10 Commandments be displayed in every public school classroom. The latest move from the GOP-dominated legislature, pushing a conservative agenda under a new governor. The legislation that Republican Governor Jeff Landry signed into law on Wednesday requires a poster-sized display of the 10 Commandments in large, easily readable font and in all public classrooms from kindergarten to state-funded universities. If you want to respect the rule of law, you've got to start from the original lawgiver, which was Moses, hyphen God. It was God. It wasn't Moses. He gave it to Moses. Anyways, who got the commandments from God, Landry said. Okay, I missed that last part. Sorry for correcting you, AP News or Governor. Yeah, it's a quote. So,
It
anyways,
seems good on the surface, but I mean, requiring them to do that, isn't that just opening a door for them to be able to require them to put, like, I don't know, Satan's laws up there one day? You know what I mean?
well,
I don't
somebody made a good point. I saw it on Facebook, and they posted a kind of like a meme type thing where it said if you're 49th in education in the country, you know, as far as how well your educational system is, if you're 49th place, maybe you should post the ABCs in posters instead of the 10 Commandments. And I was like, true. Put it right next to the 10 Commandments.
I mean, they ought to just say like something like
Put it right next
nobody. They could just say something like nobody can ban it from a school. Like if a teacher wants to put it up, I mean, I guess, but to require them to put it up is kind of weird because then I'm just thinking, well, what does that mean in the future? Like,
See, I kind of thought the same thing.
what if they're like, well, now you're gonna have to put McDonald's law up. McDonald's is the one that's sponsoring the school now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I kind of thought the same thing. I'm like, the required part seems a bit much. Because then you're getting into like are we a theocracy? Do we not have the freedom of religion now?
And
Because then
a theocracy is scary because then, like I said, McDonald's or Chick-fil-A or whoever could just be like, we're the ones that's paying for everything, so you're worshiping us, you know?
but is having the
That's exaggerated. I get it, but-
and I think if you keep reading, they talk about it. But I think. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Hold on, let me go back to the articles. Opponents questioned the law's constitutionality and vowed to challenge it in court. Proponents said the measure is not solely religious, but that its historical significance. In the language of the law, the 10 Commandments are, quote, foundational documents of our state and national government. Now, I can kind of get what he's saying there. Like, this is kind of the morale, for the most part, these are morals that we govern our laws off of in this country. You know, thou shalt not murder, don't steal, you know, and they're slowly going out the window, one commandment at a time. But I get his point. I think they're saying, the people who are orchestrating this, they're saying, look, this isn't about the Hebrew God. This isn't about the Christian God. This is about the law that was given. I don't think they're saying you must worship Yahweh now because we have the 10 Commandments in the classroom. It's more like, and they make the argument, it's more of a historical significance of morality and law.
Yeah, but one of the commandments is to worship God only.
Yeah.
It's kind of
You're right. So if a Muslim goes in there and like, but see, no,
well, Muslims
no,
worship God.
Yeah.
They
Muslims
just call him Allah. You know,
My bad.
that's just their language, I guess. But
Muslims believe in the
They
Torah,
don't- I
the
just-
10
I
Commandments, and
think-
Moses. So
I
that
think-
was a stupid.
I think where they differ is they think that they don't think Jesus is the mediator, right? They just believe that he was a prophet like a righteous
Yes.
prophet.
Yes. They don't believe
They
he
don't
was
believe
Messiah.
that he was the Son of God. That's
Yeah,
our
yeah.
mediator, right?
Right.
Okay.
They think
They still have a connection
he
with
was
Allah.
he was a
Like,
prophet. He was never he never died on a cross,
they believe he never died.
and he was like raptured.
But they do respect him a lot. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
that
he's
their
one of the
religion
five.
is-
He's one of the five
they
pillars
respect
of.
him a lot.
He's one of their five major prophets.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, the forcing thing. I mean, honestly, deep inside, I'm like, yeah.
I mean, sure. Yeah, because on the surface it does sound good. It's like, cool, put them laws up there.
But what
then-
does this open the door to?
Yeah, but even if it does open the door to something, if anybody had an objection to the Ten Commandments, for example, if someone's like, I think this is wrong, then you just ask them, which one of these laws do you think is wrong? That's what I would say, right? I mean, the only one they would say is worship God only. That's not what I want to do. Okay, well then break that law. Fine, you have free will. We still want to post the law. I don't know. I just think it's kind of funny for people to fight over the putting the Ten Commandments up.
I was telling
For the
my
government
wife,
to have to step in, to me, is silly. I don't know. I think that's really
I
silly.
don't think the government should be able to step in.
But for them to have to do that, like,
And people
we're
wanna-
going to require it, it's just like,
People want to say church and state, separation of church and state. That's nowhere in the Constitution.
yeah.
You can't find those words in the Constitution. Now, you can make an argument constitutionally based on the First Amendment. Congress shall make no laws pertaining to, religion and whatnot. But this, and I can see the argument, I guess. But I think
I think separating church and state's about blame.
this goes into the culture war that I'm talking about. Things are heating up. Like, oh yeah, you want to put your flags, your rainbow flags in this?
Flags. I thought you said something else.
No, I did not say that. But no, I was even telling my wife. I was telling her that I think this may be a bluff on Louisiana. I think they know it's going to go to the Supreme Court and it's going to get knocked down, right? And then they're going to use that as precedence, legal precedence to be like, then you cannot have X, Y, and Z in the classroom either.
It's always about legal precedence, even if it gets approved.
And you know what I'm
Then
talking about.
Then they say now the state can require you to put stuff.
X, Y, and Z, and LGBT.
Oh, all of it.
That's what they're talking. And think they may be using that for precedence to be like, okay, if I can't put the Ten Commandments up, you cannot put up the progressive flag, the pride flag, the whatever.
I mean,
you can't. I'm telling you, they're doing. This seems like precedence.
Honestly, here's what I think, in the big grand scheme of things. On a funny note, that a flag is a representation of your nation, right? And a nation isn't dirt. A nation is its people, right?
Right.
So they have a nation. The Rainbow Coalition has a nation, and let's just see how fruitful that nation can be. And one day, we'll just see who wins, right? Like in the grand scheme of things, they're gonna die out unless they keep recruiting people.
I really hope it's a long game.
But I mean,
I really hope it's
literally all you have to do is, make a baby, and you're already winning.
I think it's a long game in order to prevent stuff like this. This is called Mom and Dad's Swinger Party. Let's see what this little short book's about.
Mum and Dad's Swinger Party. My parents are swingers, just like me. And tonight they're planning a swinger party. Mum went online to find some new friends. They do it like this every weekend. It starts with a contract and a bowl full of keys. Everyone looking for unicorns. Yes, please. They watch a few movies, give balloons to the boys. Everyone sleeps over and makes lots of noise. That is why every night I pray to have a swinger party for my birthday. The end.
See, his name is actually Bad Gross. He just moved the R over, and it's Brad Ghost. But
Anyways, So I think
That was weird. I mean, I
jacked
almost feel like we watched some kind of porn.
dude, this is okay. I'm not gonna get into it.
was
If you
really
want to see,
weird.
if you want to see other episodes where we talk
So
about
where are they
what
selling
they're
that
doing,
book? I mean, if they're selling it at Adam and Eve's store, fine. But I mean,
right?
where are they selling it at?
But they're
Not fine. I don't agree with it. What I
But
mean
you
is, sure. I mean,
right,
whatever.
right.
Until the flames come, I guess.
But
Do
that's
your-
not the
have your
problem.
fun.
But that's not the problem. We've seen over and over all throughout the country, parents at school board meetings reading these books aloud that are in their public school libraries, and reading it out loud. And some of them are so dirty that the school board themselves are like, sir, we can't speak like that, sir, you can't speak like that. Get him out. But you can put this book for your
Yeah.
children to be read in the school. So that's
I mean,
kind
to
of the
be-
point.
to be
Now, if you're right.
To be fair, teachers don't even really grade their own papers anymore, man. So I doubt they're even checking what books are in the library. They're probably just like, books.
No, I've
Cool.
seen these teachers on TikTok being proud of
Oh,
these
I'm
books.
sure
that-
there's the proud one, but I'm saying like the librarian who's just your like average lady, she's probably not looking. If she saw that in there, she'd be like, "What in the world?" Probably, maybe.
Well,
in Texas, I
then
don't know.
they wouldn't kick the parents out. They'd be like, "That's in our library. Come on, they're not acting in good faith. Come on."
Yeah, well, the
They're
person
not
saying
acting
to
good. They know
shut
it's
up
in
is not acting in good faith, obviously.
That's what I'm saying.
But I'm just saying the teachers, I don't know, like they probably aren't even really aware of what's in there.
Right.
The normal ones, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyways.
Man, this is all news to me. I don't really look into this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Not anymore. I mean, I used to look into some of this stuff.
So let's end on a good note here. Let's end on a good note here. This is regarding the same group from that article we started with. A federal court in Louisiana on Monday ruled that an agency of the Biden administration cannot force the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops and other Catholic organizations to pay their employees abortions. The Biden administration Equal Opportunity Commission sought to use its interpretation of the Pregnant Workers Fairness Act to mandate that Catholic employers cover abortions contrary to their religious beliefs. The order from the U.S. District Court from the Western District, Louisiana, ruled that the EEOC has exceeded its statutory authority to implement PWFA, which is Pregnant Workers Fairness Act. In doing so, both unlawfully excoriated the authority of Congress and encroached upon the sovereignty of the court, of the plaintiffs, the court stated. So just to end on a little bit of a good note, you actually still have some sort of religious freedom. Like they're like, yeah, you can't force Catholics to pay for something that they say that they believe is absolutely child sacrifice. You can't do that. You can't do it. I don't care. It's this is horrible for our country, and it's just bad. That's what they tell me.
Yeah, and then if everybody goes, boo, he'd be like, I mean, do what you want. Do as thou wilt.
Anyways, I
can't sound like Trump.
I thought
obviously,
we'd
but
thought we'd end on a good
that was
note.
more like some crazy scientist.
I can nail Trump sometimes. Just now I did okay. Sometimes I can nail it, but just now I kind of botched it.
Did you just say you nailed Trump sometimes?
That's okay. So, anyways, we're gonna cut it there. We had a couple other things to hit, but you know what? It is what it is. We did what we did. We had a fun time. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You got anything you want to shout out, Carl, in like maybe your YouTube channel? I know you got a YouTube channel.
I do some drumming on YouTube, and that's all I do, man.
You do some drumming on YouTube?
The Secret Sound Shack.
Do you do some drumming on YouTube, or are you drumming on YouTube?
I perform the drums with my hands and feet.
I'm trying to pull it up.
Kind of like 6'6" Samus, just not as good. But I do like 6'6" Samus. He's awesome.
Don't let this fool trick you, man. I am technically the drummer in our band.
Yeah,
You're the
guitar
guitarist. But he
I can't even do that on guitar.
he's got certain techniques on the drums that I can't do, and yeah.
It's foundational work, that's all it is.
Don't let him fool you. But anyways, yeah, this is if you want to head over to his YouTube channel, The Secret Sound Shack. He does like drum covers and crap, and
Not too often, but I'll throw him in there every few months.
yeah, he likes to go live on Facebook. What's your Facebook? You want anybody to, or you just want to leave that alone?
No, they can go to my Facebook because I make them public when I go live.
Oh, okay.
Or I'll record a video and post it on Facebook and make it public.
Your Facebook. I'm gonna have to find it real quick. It's just Carl Nalley, right?
Yeah, Carl Nalley. Nalley.
I am not used to looking at this on the desktop. Where's friends? Here's friends. Let's see. There he is. So if you want to follow him on Facebook, he also posts stuff on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
Like your covers and crap.
Yeah.
All right.
I didn't even know people can follow you on Facebook. They can do that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, they can hit the follow button.
Nice.
I got people following me that I'm not friends with.
Cool.
Yeah, cool.
Neat.
Nice.
Neato.
Man, thanks for coming in. It's cool.
That was fun.
We need to do it more often.
Yeah.
And I think we may be doing it more often here in the future. Want to start putting out more videos. Sometimes, guys, I think I'm beating a dead horse. Sometimes I feel like I've said it over and over, but just I keep saying the same things over and over. But you know what? Not everybody's aware, and sometimes you are reaching new ears. And I want you to remember that when you're at your job or when you're in school, if you're still going to school, just remember that every day is different. And if you may have shared the gospel with somebody one day or talked about Jesus or God one day, and somebody was a little hesitant to want to have the conversation, but a week or two later, people's hearts change, and I've noticed people's hearts are opening up. People are hungry for truth. They're more open to the idea. People that I thought would never want to entertain the thought of a conversation about Jesus are now they're listening.
Yeah, they're starting to go, tell me about this Jesus guy I keep hearing about.
Right. So don't be scared to speak. Don't be scared to speak up. This is how you exact change in our world. It's by discussion. Have these discussions. The powers that be want to shut you up. They want to shut me up. They don't want you speaking Christ. They don't want you speaking truth. They don't want you having these conversations. But you know what? We're going to do it anyways. And that's how you exact change in your world and in our world. That can only be done by the power of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. So keep that in the back of your head as you go through your day tomorrow, as you go through your week, that we do what we do for the sake of truth and for the sake of the one who gave his life on a cross so that we could be called children of God. And remember, whether you eat or drink, just always do it to the glory of God. We'll see you guys next time.
I don't wanna lose